This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
Civic Media News, I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Governor Evers is making over-the-counter contraceptives free to people in Wisconsin getting public health insurance.
Today I'm directing the Department of Health Services to issue a standing order for Badger Care Plus to serve as the prescription to cover over-the-counter contraception, including emergency contraception.
Governor Evers is declaring 2024 the Year of the Worker. He used his State of the State speech last night to invite ideas to boost child care and public education and paid family leave.
Let's hear it. I will work with any legislator, any partner, any stakeholder who's willing to engage in meaningful conversations on these issues to do the right thing for Wisconsin.
Wisconsin Republicans are resisting Governor Evers' calls for new state initiatives. They say they want to return the state's $4 billion surplus to taxpayers.
We stand for limited government, low taxes, safe communities, and a strong economy. A strong surplus is an opportunity to advance those goals.
State Senate Republican Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu delivered the GOP response to Governor Evers' State of the State speech last night. Groups that work with victims of domestic violence and sexual assault are about to lose $30 million in federal funding. The State Senate committee will consider what the state may do this week. Wisconsin ranks number 7 for domestic violence homicides adjusted for population. Domestic violence killings in Wisconsin went up 20% from 2021 to 22. The state of Wisconsin issued more than 60,000 initial professional licenses last year. That's a 38% increase over 2022. The head of the Department of Safety and Professional Services says the average review time for new licenses is down to less than 4 days. When President Biden visits Wisconsin tomorrow, he'll talk up $1 billion in federal funding to replace the aging Blackneck Bridge between Duluth and Superior. Billions of dollars worth of freight moves over the bridge each year, making it one of Wisconsin's most important pieces of infrastructure. Warmer weather is melting ice on lakes and rivers across Wisconsin. The Department of Natural Resources recommends contacting your local fishing clubs, bait shops, or outfitters before thinking of going out on the ice. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now, here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. The Duluth Public School Board has approved a $5.2 million referendum for voters in May. The referendum is the same one the school district attempted to pass in November, which failed by just 280 votes. If approved, this referendum would invest $5.2 million per year over a 10-year term for learning technology upgrades, cybersecurity and physical safety improvements, digital curriculum and professional developments, and other technology-oriented improvements. The special election is May 14th. Fire crews battled a house fire in Solon Springs on Tuesday night. Several fire departments responded to the blaze, which broke out around 5 p.m. and kept firefighters busy for hours. Nobody was reported to have been inside the home when the fire began, and nobody was reported injured after firefighters extinguished the flames. The house was completely destroyed in the fire. Officials have not released the identity of the homeowner nor what could have caused the fire. An active investigation is underway. Voting for this year's Name a Snowplow contest is officially underway. The Minnesota Department of Transportation announced the 50 finalists for the 4th annual contest. The top 8 names that are voted on out of the 50 will have a snowplow named after them, one for each Minnesota Department of Transportation district. Some of the potential finalist names for people to vote on include Taylor Drift, Fast and Furious, and You're Killing Me Squalls. Voting is open on the Minnesota Department of Transportation website until January 28th. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz visited a wastewater treatment plant in Duluth on Tuesday to discuss his 2024 infrastructure plan. Governor Walz visited the Western Lake Superior Sanitary District to highlight the plan's potential impact on the area. His infrastructure plan calls for over $215 million to be invested in water and transportation infrastructure, as well as $119 million to support grants and low-interest loans to help keep the state's waters clean and replace lead pipes. Criminal charges have been filed against a second man who was allegedly involved in a violent burglary in Barron County. According to court records, charges were filed against 40-year-old Ricardo Antonio Dominguez, and a warrant for his arrest was issued. Charges were filed against the other man, 33-year-old Ryan Charpentier, earlier this month after he was arrested. The charges stem from accusations that the men assaulted a 70-year-old man in Barron County in December and stole nearly $14,000. The Duluth Police Department is investigating a string of vehicle break-ins near the start of a popular hiking trail. According to law enforcement authorities, officers responded to 6 vehicle break-ins on Sunday and Monday at the Ely's Peak Superior hiking trail parking area. The suspect reportedly broke the windows of the vehicles to gain access to them, but the owners reported nothing of significant value was taken. Authorities did not announce if they have made an arrest or identified a suspect. Wisconsin's congressional delegation is pushing to keep the state's lake sturgeon population from being listed as a threatened or endangered species. According to a WPR report, U.S. Representative Mike Gallagher announced the introduction of a bill to exempt Wisconsin from listing the fish under the Endangered Species Act, arguing sturgeon spearing is a vital way of life to the northeast Wisconsin region. Conservationists argue the sturgeon population has declined more than 99% over the last century. Chester Bowl has received a significant donation from Lull Designs. According to a Fox 21 report, the organization donated $20,000 to Chester Bowl as part of their pledge to support outdoor recreation in the area. Chester Bowl Executive Director Dave Schaefer said the money will go towards revamping the Thom Storm Chalet, which is in desperate need of renovations and needs to be made ADA accessible. Lull Designs will also donate to cyclists of Gitche Gummy Shores and Hartley Nature Center. And that's what you need to know. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Tonight, a cloudy sky, patchy drizzle or freezing mist in foggy areas with lows in the low 30s. More of the same tomorrow, clouds, fog, and some drizzle, highs upper 30s. On Friday, little change, a cloudy sky, some foggy areas, and highs to the upper 30s. Right now, it's 33.
The Bucs have a new head coach. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. After firing Adrian Griffin just halfway through his first season as a head coach, the Bucs have hired Doc Rivers with 40 years of NBA experience. As a head coach, Rivers led the Boston Celtics to a championship in 2008, Shaquille O'Neal on TNT, and how he'll deal with Damian Lillard and Giannis.
Again, when you're the 1-2 punch on the team, you rely on the coach, in my opinion, a little bit, not a lot. Like, you have to say, hey, this is what we need to do. Hey, you need to get in line, boom, boom, bam. But a big name coach. I'm happy for Doc, and he gets a chance to, get another one. Because, for so long he's just been, surviving off that one championship. So I would like to see him get another one.
The Bucs host the Cavaliers tonight. Wisconsin with another win over Minnesota, 61-59. That's the Badgers' 7th win in a row over the Gophers. Forward Tyler Wall says it was a tight ball game.
I think we started out the game sticking to the game plan pretty well, and then not necessarily sloppy, but we didn't have the urgency that we needed to on the three-point shooters, especially early in the second half.
Baseball, the Brewers signed Phillies veteran Rhys Hoskins to play first base. The Packers firing Joe Barry after 3 years as the defensive coordinator in Green Bay. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio.